Shalom, shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim Wakwathim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from small captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Oh wow, this is crazy. You can't see. I can see the stuff, but you can't see. They have some sort of update, I guess, that makes it so that I can't show maybe specifically. You can't screen record stuff like this. Anyway, Slacky, that's irrelevant because I don't need to show this, and I wasn't gonna play it. But the thing is, today's lesson we're gonna be going back into this because I did a lesson on this video specifically. Hebrew Israelites debunked. It is a. Bear with me one moment. All right, Slakia. Alright, Slakia. So basically, yeah, today's lesson is going to be on this video once again. And the reason why I'm doing this lesson is because once again, like every time I'm watching the Israelites, an Israelite video, a brother doing a lesson or whatever, and whatnot, without fail, like they always, they multiple times, okay, I think just yesterday, multiple times, plus the day before that, and a couple of days ago, a couple of days in a row, they've always referred me back into this exact same movie. They made it free, by the way. It's free. It is a free movie that you can just watch, which I think normally YouTube movies doesn't give you free movies to watch. I think normally it is you have to pay for it. I'm pretty sure, because that was the reason why I never watched any of these movies, because you have to, yeah, it says buy or rent, and then okay, well, some of them like this, I guess it's free with ads, buy or rent. So there are some movies, sure, but you know, I've always just been in that mindset of there's always some like hidden feeds and stuff like that, because I don't know if you ever had TV, like actual satellite or cable television, where if you wanted to watch movies on stuff like HBO and whatnot, you had to buy the channel, you had to pay to watch a movie, you had to pay to do this, that, and the third, whatever. Where, you know, when I was a kid growing up, you know, I was warned, do not buy those stuff. You can watch TV and all that stuff, but you better not add any charges or whatever in my thing. So I intentionally stayed away from that type of stuff. But regardless, to get back to the point, I never, even though, yeah, maybe there might have been some movies that I wanted to see and whatnot, not really any of these, but in general, I just never wanted to watch this stuff. But yet they have these people sending me off into this multiple times. It's like there's clearly YouTube is clearly trying to get me off of that. And that's the thing, where they actually think that I am one of those people that are easily swayed, that's easily enticed through that doctrine. Which actually, you know what, Slacky, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna wisely take that back, because that is a very stupid thing for me to say, because very easily anyone could lose the fire. All right, so let me get this first. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 14, then that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the slay of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Okay, this is the thing where with this movie, where they constantly, even after I autoplay actually takes me to the video, or it's on the suggestion thing and I just ignore it, even as autoplay takes me to the video and I get off quickly or whatnot, they still, okay, what, he didn't watch it this time, let's recommend it to him the next time he watches an Israelite video. Then we're definitely gonna do that type of stuff. All right, it's the same. I can't think of it anyway. Regardless, the main thing I want to get into is in general. Actually, you know what? If you know where it says, if anyone's watching this and they know where it says, the Lord, I'm pretty sure it's in Revelation where it says something about the Lord, or the devil wants Yahawadah to catch the Israelites sinning, so that they will get their punishment or something like that. I don't remember the exact wording, but which is why I'm in this position to begin with. But anyway, let's continue on. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. That's the thing where in general we are going to be tempted by sinners. We're going to be tempted to do stuff that the Lord told us, just don't do that. Don't do that. This is a sin. This is what we're not supposed to do. But yet you still have Israelites doing it. Okay, and this is the thing where the Israelites in general, we take the time to actually go into the scriptures. And again, I really want to point this out that I didn't watch this all the way through, okay? And while I will say I could possibly do an entire lesson / video on it.
With perfect flavor.
My main goal, or my main purpose with bringing this out is really just to show that Esau is aware of us Israelites, and he really wants to kind of like put a damper and put a hamper in, or some sort of stopper on the awakening of the Israelites, all right, to try to get in the way, try to stop it. As a matter of fact, now I just remembered another precept. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8, for we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. That's the thing where Esau, even though he tries to go against the truth, he's not going against, and the thing is that anyone that is honest, anyone that is actually intellectually honest, they will admit that when it comes to any genuine debates, either genuine debates or any genuine breakdowns on who's right when it comes to the Bible and whatnot, I will say not in a definitive statement, not as a definitive statement, but yes, also as a definitive statement. That's a separate whole category. But in a definitive statement, yes, the Israelites have proven it. But at the same time, in a not so definitive statement, that when it comes to Christians, all right, trying to plead their case and try to say that the Bible is for everyone, it always falls short, and the Israelites always kind of prove them wrong, and to show them a flaw in their thing, especially with the undeniable fact that the Bible literally has inclusive language. And on top of that, in terms of the harmony of the scriptures, in order to say that the Bible is for everyone, you would have to admit that either Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh, is a liar, or the most or his son Yahawashi is a liar, especially when he says stuff like this, which I'm going to get right here. I am not sent. Yeah, this is enough. Matthew chapter 15 verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, so it's just this statement alone, where if Yahawashi is, if he was sinless, if he never told a lie and all that stuff, then that would mean, okay, so it's like if Christians do believe that, Yahawashi was sinless and he's never told a lie, he was perfect and whatnot, then that would mean that this is true, and you can't change what the scriptures say. You can't say, do you really think that this, that, and third, like always trying to appeal to emotions, okay? And that's basically been the thing when it comes to these types of conversations, where when you speak on it, it always goes back to some sort of emotional appeal of, well, I don't think God would want to say or do this, that, and third, or whatever, and stuff like that, where it's like, again, it's always an appeal to emotions rather than any concrete fact. It's always like, and that was the thing with the whole what's the dude's name, Cooley guy, when he debated Israelites, when he debated Captain Terzariak, Gorilla Hebrew, and that other guy with Slakia. I do not know your name because I was not trying to really watch that debate like for real, but I just saw a few clips, and that dude barely talked in the time that I was watching. But anyway, that really is not important. It is kind of, I'll admit that sometimes it is a bit entertaining, if you will, and maybe some people might get edification off of what's it called, debates. But in actuality, as someone who's gone through and studied these debates and stuff like that before I learned about GMS and whatnot, maybe there might be a talking point, but the problem is that you can learn the talking point yourself. You can say, okay, so I heard Sakari say this whenever they are brought up with this talking point or with this scripture. So then now you're basically parroting what you've heard, all right? But in actuality, that's not actually helping you, because you don't have the actual foundational knowledge to properly understand and rebuke whatever information is being told to you. So you're over here, you're sitting here thinking, oh yeah, I can do this, I can just copy them. But then when you talk to someone else and then they bring up other talking points, they bring up other scriptures, then because you don't understand the scripture as a whole, and you were just trying to parrot the exact same thing, which again, I've been in the same situation, okay, then you basically fall apart and you don't have the understanding and whatnot. So, but also that's another reason why debating is not good, because you oftentimes, rather than studying, you are more focused on trying to seem right, trying to plead your case with another man, rather than understanding and studying, okay, do I understand the scriptures? Do I know it? Am I fully convinced in my own mind? All right, which that's where a big thing comes into place, and as well as another thing when it comes to these movies. All right, with this this movie, okay, which actually I was gonna go into the comments, but I forgot to get it. But basically, that's where these stuff where you can hear something like this, and then you will be easily swayed, you will be easily convinced to say, okay, you know what, I didn't really see it like that, so you know what, I think, yeah, I'm just gonna stop calling myself an Israelite. I'm gonna stop doing this, that, and the third, and whatever. And then as a result of that, you're just easily pulled away from the faith and whatnot. And it's like, well, that was easy. Also, over here, let's actually look at these comments. So Voice of Reason 9258, he says this video does not debunk. It is a Hebrew Israelite cult proselyte video with a clickbait title. I suggest, okay, no, he suggests Vocab Malone's videos, and funnily enough, Vocab Malone does not. That man has not debunked shit. I don't know what this dude is talking about. Censor all clickbait dishonesty. This is atheist freaking comment. Why? That's always, like, that is so weird to me. Like, this is a video on one topic, and then you go over here to make it about something even more broad, like that. Whatever, I guess, but it's just like so weird. Like, this is such a desperate cry out for help to me. Like, that, it just seems so childish. But whatever, I guess. Continuing on. And then again, I literally said this. So this is from Area Mason 9324. Forget all this nonsense. We are supposed to be children of God. Doesn't matter your place of birth, citizenship, tribe, color, language, belief on God, and you will be saved. Do you think to get into heaven, God is going to ask us, who do we identify? So this person is having a stroke and did not pay attention to, went to what's it called, North American school. All right, because this shit is terrible. Anyway, basically they're saying it's always that whole emotional appeal, and it's always like, oh, you think that God's gonna say, before, when you get to the gates of heaven, oh, what's your ethnicity? Oh, are you an Israelite? No. And that's the thing where that's a big misconception, because people think, oh, there's a place in heaven, and then there is a heaven, yes, but like people think that heaven is like, oh, pearly gates, all that stuff and stuff like that, and then there's a hell and stuff like that, as well as what's it called, everyone's gonna be equal in the kingdom of heaven, when that's not true. All right, there are gonna be Edomites in heaven, there are gonna be Israelites in heaven, there's gonna be lots of different people in heaven. All right, race baiting. Wait, what? And again, like there's just so many people that are confused. This person, Soupman or Supman, I don't know. Let me guess. This is anti-S, right? And again, he doesn't seem to understand that that there's a different. Okay, whatever. Anyway. Slakia, that's a big thing, but let's not get into that. But yeah, this is just a thing in general where people are very confused, they're not fully aware. They have heard clearly when they get into videos like this, when they see videos like this, the people that are actually aware of the Israelites, even though Slakia, people that are aware of the Israelites, they're gonna say, oh yes, that's why they're wrong, that's why they're this, that, and the third, they're wrong. And again, there's the people that are I'll say a bit smarter, Slakia, that are able to say that this video does not debunk, and it didn't. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know if it debunked, because I didn't watch the whole thing through. But he says, I'm assuming that he watched the whole video, that this does not debunk. And again, it's just a very hard thing where all they're just doing is talking talking about nothing. This really is a bunch of filibustering, and it's like, why is this? Which also brings me to think, so if this isn't debunking it, which now I don't even want to watch it anymore than I did before. I actually want to watch it less now. All right, after learning about that, it's like, then why are they constantly giving me this? It's like they're trying to do that subliminal suggestion of saying, oh, the Israelites aren't real, the Israelites aren't right, they're this, that, and the third. Okay, but yet, I was the one who did all the research myself. I studied the Bible literally every day, at the start of, I guess, a couple of months ago. But like, I guess other people would know more than me. But anyway, that's the thing. Like, it's really just stuff like this is really just for just a cash grab and whatnot. Getting people to try to attempt to, and that's the thing, Slakia. Esau really will pay Jake, or maybe his own people, whatever, money, just to find some way to kind of discredit us. But at the same time also, even if it's an insincere discrediting, all right, like it's still like an attempt to discredit us and try to say, oh, you're really gonna believe these black people? Like, they don't even have college degrees and stuff like that. They're just uneducated, so-called black people. When I heard a lot of different brothers actually have degrees and whatnot. So yeah, that's basically that was basically the thing about that stuff. But let's actually continue on. 2 Thessalonians 2, chapter 2, verse 11. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. And this is the thing where they are believing in this lie of Yahweh, all right, is dealing with everyone. The whole universalism stuff, and they don't care about any actual concrete evidence. Okay, because there's as a matter of fact, let me show you. Actually, there was this one Bible. There's this one Bible called the Queen James Bible. All right. Wait, okay, so if a man also, okay, this is from Leviticus. If a man also lie with mankind in the temple of Molech, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon their. And so basically, they added. This was the thing they added. In the temple of Molech, rather than just leaving it blank, where it originally says, if a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, that is an abomination. That's basically what it originally says, but they added that thing. So let's actually see if this they don't revise any commands about whatever they don't. What? This dude is a literal demon. Slakia, I'm not trying to read I'm not trying to read while making this video, but it's just like there are hold on. Okay, so hold on. Let's check this out quickly. All right, I want to see because they were basically saying, this they are basically trying to change the word of YAHAWASHI by saying that whenever it was talking about homosexuality, it is only in reference to little boys and and what's it called? Oh, not this one. Saw TikTokers and so just in case, obvious trigger warning, blah blah blah. I don't care about that. You shall not lie down. You shall, and with the male you shall not lie the lying down of a woman, of the meaning, on the meaning and significance of Leviticus 18:22 and 20:13. So basically it's saying you shall not lie, and with the male, but when you are with the male, you shall not lie down with him. You shall not lie lying down. You should not be doing the deed basically of in the same way that you do with a woman, because the wording is a little bit weird, but basically that's the thing. It says, and with the male you shall not lie, or basically you should not do the act. Lie in this context is the act, all right, the lying down, which is the noun version of it, lying down. Okay, you shall not lie, the verb slakia, and then the lying down is the noun of the sexual intercourse of a woman. So basically having sex with a man as with a woman. So that's basically what it literally says, all right. And again, like the Slakia, this is a thing, Slakia. I don't mean to like kind of like drag this out, but this is the thing where when it comes to people, Esau, Edom, and honestly, not even just Esau, Edom, but people in general, okay, people in that Babylonian mindset, they will try to find an excuse. As a matter of fact, where's that precept? Okay, find an excuse. I forgot the wording. There's the one word.
But it isn't something that most people will ever achieve. You know, these days in particular, it's a big enough challenge just to own your own home, let alone a portfolio of property, just different types. Instead, here's my advice. And it's after
I think it's in the Apocrypha, yeah.
Something along the lines of this.
Here, perfect. Sirach chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. So yeah, basically, you know, he's going to say, okay, well, I think it actually means this, or oh, God doesn't mind if I just do that. It's okay to do this. It's okay to not just to have sex just for recreational purposes. I don't want to have a kid. I don't want to just do this. I want to, you know, do blah blah and all that stuff. And again, it's just like that's not what the Lord said. The Lord clearly stated, okay, thou shalt not lie with man as with womankind. All right, it's clearly in Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22 and Leviticus chapter 20 verse, I believe it's 13. Slakia. So yeah, it's like you are trying to mold the thing, okay? And I think, you know, I'll speak for myself. Okay, I've been in that situation where I tried to change the word of the Lord to fit my narrative, to fit what I wanted to do. Okay, but the thing is, like, to be honest with myself, all right, to be honest with myself, you know, I had to stop. Okay, I had to stop, and I had to come to the realization that, okay, you know what, I know I want to do this, but what's more important to me? All right, is it pleasing my flesh or serving Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi? And you know, when I actually think about that, and I actually think and I actually reflect and come to the realization that, you know what, I do not mess with, this dishonesty and whatnot. I'm going to stop. I have to stop myself. I have to do what is right. I have to do the right thing. So let me just go and let me not eat pork and whatnot. All right. So yeah, there is that, and there is the importance of not doing your flesh, but doing what the Lord wants you to do, because it's very important that you not I guess not take things, not try to twist things, okay? Because what did the Lord say, okay, about that? And in Revelation chapter 22 verse 18, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. All right, so you don't want that. You don't want to have plagues added onto you, and you don't want to have your place taken from the kingdom of heaven, from YAHAWAH. So that's why, you really have to honestly, examine yourself. Are you sincerely following after YAHAWAH? Because Slaki, that's the thing. This is very important. I know I'm kind of dragging this, but and that's not my intention. But it's when it comes to stuff like this, if you are a Christian, for an example, you want to be honest, okay? You have to just accept that, yes, I have to do this, I have to do this, that, and the third. I have to be honest. I have to answer for the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm not going to just appeal to my emotions, say, oh, God wouldn't do that, or God wouldn't say that, or God wouldn't this, that, and the third, whatever, where you had this preconceived understanding of what God was like, or what Yahweh, or I guess God, whatever, was like before you actually heard facts. All right, so that's what the thing where you have to be. What does the scripture say? Let me get that in 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. You have to be, as a baby, to be willing to absorb any type of information that might not be to what you initially understood. So as a result of that, you're like, okay, you know what? This is some new information. Maybe let me just see, and then let me go do my own research to verify it myself. And you have so many Christians that are under the deception of Christianity, all right, that they just don't know, all right, which funnily enough, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go back to here where you have people that actually think, can I please pause it, that actually think that this is a good video, which you have 220 likes. You got this dude that actually thinks that vocab debunked anything when he hasn't debunked shit. As a matter of fact, he's been fueling Slaki, he's been fueling some of the Israelites and sending Israelites to the actual proper channels to get edified and to realize that they are Israelites. Okay, he's not helping a damn thing. All right, but yeah, anyway, he's helping the true prophets. He's helping get Israelites returning to Yahawadah. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, double honor to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, and Bob the Ball, and Shalom.